Hey everybody, Karyn Bryant for MMA H.E.A.T talking with Gina Mazany, who is taking on Macy Chiasson at UFC 235. First and foremost, got to say, I'm loving your hair. It looks beautiful. What's the significance of this color?
I've always had my hair pink, and it's kind of a celebration of like fight week, and you gotta look good, feel good, fight good. So it's like the only time I get really girly.
Yeah.
Is when I fist fight. Kind of weird.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny though, but you mean you're certainly not the only woman who says that. A lot of girls like to feel pretty, or not even necessarily about being pretty, but yeah, like feel done up to walk in there to battle too. I mean, it just makes them feel empowered.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important. I think it's important to show that you can be a beautiful woman and you can beat some butt.
That's right. Well, awesome. Listen, you're going to be trying to beat Macy's butt, and she won the Ultimate Fighter, but she wanted a weight class up. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on her coming down 10 pounds to face you.
I think it's an interesting move because I think she has it seemed like she was doing well at 145. My thought is, why make the change unless UFC kind of wanted her to do that? Yeah. But she sounds like she's confident in making the weight and feeling good doing it, so that's good. But yeah, I mean, I used to fight at 145, and I kind of liked dropping to 135 because Dave, can you stop?
Sorry.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I kind of like dropping the weight because it kind of keeps me more strict on like my diet.
Yeah.
I'm more what's it called? Just more discipline in myself. Discipline. Yeah, not let myself, in the off season. So it's not a bad idea, but I mean, we'll see how she performs when she makes 135. That's a big cut for her.
Right.
And she'll be very skinny. So we'll see.
Yeah, because that's my next question to you is that would make people figure that you might have some advantages there, and just in your endurance and your strength and just how you feel fight week versus how she feels. Even though you've used to fight up, if you've been more diligent, this in theory should be a easier cut for you than her. Yeah. Oh,
for sure.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I've been consistent with the weight that I'm acclimated at the weight I'm going to be stepping on the cage on Saturday. I've done it before. I've done huge cuts. Cut like 18 pounds in 2 days, and I felt like crap the next day, and the days on beyond that. So it's, I definitely think I have that advantage in that sense of just being disciplined and staying close to my fight weight. But yeah, that's a big cut, and especially for females, where I don't think a lot of people pay attention to it, is like our hormones are really, they're really important. Hormones literally run women's lives. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's, and I know I've done a couple of big cuts and my hormones were not good for the next couple of months and took a while to get it back to normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, and for me, a quality of life is so important. And, going through a fight camp where you can every once in a while have a treat or, not always have to stress about what you're eating. Like I love my life and I want to enjoy it. For the last week is the only one that really sucks when it comes to diet, and I'm very thankful for that.
That's cool. Well, it's funny. You're preaching to the choir here. I have to take thyroid medicine because my thyroid got cooked and stuff. And, it's actually an ongoing, I wouldn't say argument or debate I have with Bisbing all the time. But, you do see women miss weight more often maybe than men. And I said, Michael, it is harder for women. And he says, it's their job. I said, 100% agree it's their job. 100% agree. Any fighter who's professionally fighting needs to make weight. But the fact that it is harder for women, like it just is.
For sure, yeah, for sure, and especially if it's like that time of the month, like it's never easy. I've had fights where like my when I fought in China, I was supposed to be good on my girl time, and I literally started my lady time for the fight, and I wasn't supposed to start for another 2-3 weeks, and I'm like, that's my hormones, like not happy with me right now, but
listen. It is what it is, but strategically, how can you beat Macy here? Because you before you got to the UFC, you were on a tear. You've been splitting your fight so far, but I need to see some consistency from you, Gina. So so what are you working on here to make sure that you can put the wins together moving forward?
Honestly, just getting better at everything. Yeah. Really. Since my last loss to Lena Landsberg, I've been very, very consistent with my mitt guy,
Yeah.
Nate Pettit, and he's really good about MMA striking. And I definitely don't ignore anything else. I've been very persistent and consistent with my wrestling, my grappling, just trying to get better, you know, in every area. And, you know, Macy's good at, like, her clinch game's good. And you know, her jiu-jitsu's made her successful. She's had a history of having good hands, but at this point in my career, I think I'm really ready for anything she has to throw at me. But I've definitely put the hours and hours and hours on the mat to make sure that that is going to be a for sure thing. But yeah, just being consistent, because I see so many fighters leave the gym after a fight and take, you know, hiatus of like a couple months off, and I got to fight and then come back. But I've made the gym my home, and that's, you know, where I plan on getting better every day. So it's just being consistent, I think, is going to be my secret recipe.
Very cool. Well, and, you know, you're with Xtreme Couture then still, yeah? Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, for years, Randy, you know, everybody there, it was the powerhouse. It was Randy. It was Jay Haran. I'm trying to remember all the guys. I remember going to film with Vitor there. Like, that place, Forrest was always there. Like, it was the jam, right? And so then a lot of those guys have retired and this and that. But I want to know for you, like, what is it like there for you? Why is that gym the one that you chose? Because, you know, obviously you have the choice of the UFC PI, you have Syndicate, you have a lot of other choices out in Vegas.
So I do dabble in other training because I think it's really important to kind of have another flavor. When you're doing the same stuff every single day, training with the same people every single day, it gets a little bit monotonous, and you know, you're like, oh, I'm going with this guy. He's a southpaw, and he does this, he does that. Right. So I do dabble a little bit with I train a little with Coach Casey at 10th Planet every once in a while, and we do practice at the PI. We get a little group together. Right. But the cool thing about Xtreme Couture is like we are a totally open door policy, where people come in and out, which, you know, may be a little bit rougher on like the whole team aspect of like, you know, but then also, it's great for training and learning and getting to train with different people. But yeah, I really feel like, and I love my coaches there. I have great coaches there. Dennis Davis, Nate Pettit, like they're awesome over there, and really lucky to have them, and surrounded by other athletes that are doing pretty well. So I think that's definitely a benefit. And plus, living in Vegas, having the Performance Institute definitely doesn't hurt.
It's pretty great. Yeah, well, and Ryan Couture is a great guy too. So I'm sure.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
Love that guy. Love that guy. So, you know, I got to ask you about something, because when people look up your name online, they'll find things that say that you were a former competitive skater. Were you a competitive ice skater?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. I used to, be a figure skater for like 6-7 years. And then, and then I started doing jiu-jitsu, and I just kind of fell in love with that. And skate. Hung up the skates.
Well, it's so different. So, but what was your best move? Like, can you do a triple sow cow? How good were you?
Oh, hell. I didn't get that. I honestly, so I did what was it called? Like, I got really into like synchronized skating. So I had like a team of girls when I was younger. And then once I got older, I kind of tried to do more of my own thing. So like, I was like working on doubles, no triples, but, you know, double Lutz, double, you know, sow, like just nothing crazy, but.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it was, but cage fighting seems to be more my fit, more my style.
Well, that's the thing, though. I have to ask, you know, like how your friends and family responded to that, because, you know, figure skating and face punching are about as diametrically opposed as you can get.
Right. It's, you know, with figure skating, there's a lot of politics.
Yeah.
Politics, and for me, I figured that, like, with MMA, one thing I love about it is it's the ultimate test for an athlete. Yeah. Like, you have to be physically composed, you have to be mentally composed, you have to be strong, you have to be fast, you have to make weight. Like, there's a lot of demands in it, and for some reason that just keeps me interested. I like having to something. I like doing stuff that's really hard, and I guess that's.
But it's funny though too. Well, the whole saying, "Don't leave it in the hands of the judges," like that must really resonate with you. Since skating is often seen to be so prejudicial, you know, it's just like, I thought this guy was good and that one wasn't, so it's up to me.
Right, absolutely, yeah. It's 100% don't leave it in the hands of the judges. But it's also like figure skating in a way kind of teaches you like the same kind of concepts in a fight. Like if you win, if you're fighting and it's close, you in the third round with your damn hands up, like you won the world, like you just dominated the person. You gotta, fake it till you make it. And sometimes that persuades the judges. Like after every round, if you're walking away, hanging your head low, like the judges are going to see that. Yep. Walk away, sit in the corner, smile, breathe. Okay, cool. Yeah, coach. All right, let's go. You got to fake it. You can't, and your opponent feeds off that too. Like I feed off when my opponent's not doing good. I love that. That's food for my soul.
Absolutely. So speaking of food for your soul, what are you going to treat yourself to? Actually I should ask, what do you miss the most? I know you were saying you were disciplined, but I feel like everybody's got that one thing that they're like, I can't believe I can't eat this right now. Do you have something like that?
Just like really spicy wings, some Ben and Jerry's, just like a whole bunch of Thai, like pad Thai, just carb city, population me. Oh man. That sounds nice.
Pad Thai is so good. I had some the other day. Yeah, it's delicious.
So good.
Delicious.
So good.
The best thing ever. Yeah. But every time I eat it, though, I'm like, I should not be eating this.
Right. Why'd I do that? Yeah, I definitely have those moments.
It's good. Well, listen, I'm excited for you to get in action. I have to say, so you're on the early prelims on ESPN Plus, right?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
How does that resonate with you? Because I know a lot of the fighters now, like seeing their name plus ESPN has just been something that has really gotten their spirits up and just like empowered. Like, I don't want to say that. They've just like, oh my God, look, Mom, I made it. I'm on ESPN. I'm curious, what your take is on that.
I think the coolest part about it, and me and my boyfriend were eating dinner last night, and we're sitting at a restaurant, and it was on ESPN, and they were highlighting all the fighters and stuff. And like, that was just so cool. And not saying that Fox didn't do that, but it was like, the fights are consistently on. And I think the more exposure as fighters get, the better. Yeah. The better for everyone, really. And I felt a lot of times that we kind of got our outlet kind of got diminished because we weren't exposed as much unless we were one of those big names, which we all know. Right. And so, yeah, it's cool too, because if you do have a good performance, whether you're the first 3 fights or you're the top 3 fights, ESPN's going to talk about it because you're an athlete and they give a shit, and that's so nice. Yeah, and so I think that's the coolest part about it is just it's going to do a lot for the fighters personally, but also for the sport itself. Like, and it's going to attract a whole other group of viewers. The whole ESPN crowd. It's going to be awesome. Like. Yeah, I think it's amazing. It's cool. And it's cool. I'm on ESPN. Oh.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I mean, believe me, it's exciting because for me, the first time, like, I said those words, you know what I mean? UFC on ESPN, I was like, hell yeah, you know what I mean? It was great. And that, of course, I had a great time at Fox. It has nothing to do with, one versus the other. It's just that you do, like you said, the fact that you guys will be on SportsCenter and stuff like that, I feel like, it was a lot harder for, like you said, to get that exposure. So it is nice to know that all under one umbrella now, that you guys can get a lot more exposure. So I think that's very good.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's awesome.
So you mentioned one thing, and I won't give you a hard time about it, but you said, I was out with my boyfriend, and I'm pretty sure he tweeted something out about you the other day. He's like, this is Gina, and I love her, or something. Of course, that was Tim. Folks know that you guys are together. I thought that was adorable.
Yeah, he's a sweet boy. Tim Elliott, that little guy. All 5'7" of him. Oh, no, he's great. He's great. I don't know, he's helped me believe in myself quite a bit. Yeah. He has such a unique personality and unique mindset that I've never gotten the pleasure to experience before. Right. Championship mentality, and for me, I think one of my biggest faults was not believing in myself. Yeah. Like I have the skills to pay the bills, and I know that for sure. But I just when it came to game time, I didn't really believe in myself too much, and I think the past year and a half, like I've really been working on my I guess my ego and believing in myself and knowing that I'm the shit, knowing that I can put girls away, and I in every area, and so it's definitely a benefit for sure.
I love it. Yeah. I think it's great. I think, you know, it's fun to see women going out there and being badasses. I do have to ask though, so when I see a lot of people using CBD and things like that for your, you know, for your training. I know Xtreme Couture, if you're going to all these places, you guys do go hard. I don't know how many days a week you spar there, but like, you know, we hear so much about what people do for recovery now and all that kind of thing. I'm just curious, like what you'll be doing this week and recovering before, you know, Saturday, just to make sure you're in top form.
Recovery wise, a lot of relaxing, move around shakeouts, meditation, honestly, something I've added into, and it's been a complete game changer.
Oh yeah.
I'm consistent with, I take CBD every day, topically and in my face.
Yeah.
I really believe in CBD. There's been studies, and I've seen too many experiences personally with myself and people around me that it's been beneficial. So that's definitely something I add into, and I'm thankful that they're cool with that now. And that it's not looked at as like a negative substance, because it doesn't, you know, it doesn't get you stoned. It doesn't, it doesn't mess with anything except for the good stuff on the insides.
Yeah.
So, right now it's a lot of, just relaxing, enjoying this process, enjoying looking like a lady and you know, getting the final touches, and just, just loving myself right now and being proud of myself. That's something I don't do very often. I'm really, really proud of myself, and just embracing that feeling and embracing this, you know, the photo opportunities, interviews and all that stuff.
Take it all in. Take it all in. Well, I love it, and I know you got a bunch to do, so thanks for taking the time with me now. But yeah, best of luck on Saturday against Macy. I think you guys are going to have a great fight, and that's, I believe, the second fight on ESPN Plus, I think, right?
I think so, because one of them got scrapped, I believe.
So you might be first. You might be, at any rate, people need to tune in early.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. Let's go.
Awesome. All right, Gina, thanks so much. Good luck.
Thank you so much.